So curly parents, this vlog is especially dedicated to you. We're going to be showing you a tutorial how to basically wash and go and promote curl. Transitioning hair from a young girl into adulthood is usually very tangly, stringy. The root might be really curly and the bottom is still really straight and stringy. And it's just transitioning into adult curly hair. So usually there's a lot of changes and it can be very, very hard to style and make it look good for special events or school. Generally, I find it's very, very, very tangly and it can almost get matted under here. So I hope that you guys enjoy this vlog and this tutorial because it's especially for you. And if you have any questions, comment below on the blog and I'll be sure to answer them. So enjoy. So this is Natalia, everyone. She lives in Ellenton, Florida. She is amazing. There's nothing this girl can't do. She's sporty, she's active, she's smart, and she just has an awesome personality. So her mom came in to meet me one day, and let me tell you, the struggle was real with Natalia's hair. She had crazy tangles. I mean, in the back, I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. It was almost just dreaded up. And that was just from one night of sleeping with her. So generally, I find that this is actually a gigantic product issue too. If you guys are using products that have any kind of buildup in it, and these can be natural waxes, natural oils. Oils repel water and they also cling to the hair. So don't fall for this whole everybody needs oil and oil treatments, because they actually can remove water, which is natural hydration. When the hair is dehydrated, it will start to wrap around itself because the cuticle shaft is permanently open. It's trying to adhere to the moisture that's around it. So down here in Florida, we have a lot of that. So I already detangled Natalia. I did use a comb. If you guys do need a comb, go for it. You know, we have things to do and we need to teach our kids proper hair care maintenance. Just teach them to gently pick out the detangles rather than trying to brush them out. Hot tip here, always start from the bottom of the hair up to the root. That will not only not damage the hair, but it'll make it a lot faster and an easier chore. So devacurl has this really awesome product. It's called Wash Day Wonder. You either love it or you hate it. I find there's not a lot of in between, but for fine hormonal hair that's stringy and straight on the bottom and pretty tight and curly at the root, Wash Day Wonder is like a saving grace. So that's a devacurl product. I'll be sure to leave a link in the blog, and I definitely think you guys should try that one out. You put it on first, then detangle the hair, rinse it out, use your cleanser and conditioner, and style as normal. So it's really important to me to have the kids hands on. They need to see all the work that's going into their hair, and that their hair is pretty and beautiful, and that if you take the time to do it, when you turn 13 and 14 and 15, you're already going to know what to do with it. And that's really important for young curly girls, because at this age, they want to start straightening it and being just like the Instagram models. And that's not always the truth, as we know. So I detangled, I washed with the devacurl Decadence No Poo and kept detangling. As I'm scrubbing the scalp, I always make sure to run my fingers down, down, and down, constantly in a detangling motion. That's going to help you guys out a lot too. Rinse the No Poo out very thoroughly. Warm water's good. And then apply your one condition. For Natalia, we use the Decadence, super hydrating, not crazy heavy down here in Florida. And it's also a leave-in conditioner. So there's no reason to rinse it all the way out. You kind of want the water murky. And I do definitely suggest a cold water rinse. Cold water seals down the cuticle layer naturally and promotes shine, but it also will stop the humidity from affecting it near as much. So once you dilute your conditioner with cold water, they'll love that. I want you to scrunch some of the curls into place. Immediately go ahead and grab whatever gel you're using. We use the Ultra Defining Gel on her to promote more curl on the bottom. And then I just want you to start scrunching all the way up to the scalp, and have them do it too. Get their hands in it, let them feel the water, let them play around with their hair so that way they get used to doing it. So now in the shower, you guys would probably be tossed over like this already. So I'm going to go ahead and keep detangling. If you don't like the way it comes out when you're detangling it like this, all you have to do is add more water. The water is what creates the groupings, the curl groupings. So if you find that you still need to detangle during this time, go ahead and do it. If you don't like the way it looks, it's too straight, whatever, slap some more cold water on there. And then once again, keep scrunching. If you have areas like Natalia that's still trying to be straight, eventually those will grow out and you'll get them trimmed off, and then you'll just have all that curl left over. But yep, all the way up to the roots. Scrunch slow, be patient with it. And like I said, keep detangling. You don't want any kind of knots because they can turn into dreads very, very, very quickly. And we want Natalia to keep this hairstyle for about 3 days if that's possible. So the comb, the wet comb, very, very important. It's actually the only comb that I will use on myself and on my guests in the salon. It's very user friendly, and it actually makes detangling not so much of a chore. So if you find that you need a brush, use the wet brush only, or the wet comb is my favorite. So here I'm giving Natalia the Ultra Defining Gel, and it's a good amount, and I already put some in. So I want you guys to realize, don't be afraid of these devacurl products. More is usually better, but let your hair decide. It will tell you what's best for it. See all that water that's coming out of her hair? That's wonderful because her hair is not trying to hold on to the water. It's actually releasing it, and it will make a squeegee noise like ch-ch-ch. And that's how you know that your hair is getting properly hydrated. If there's no squeegee noise as you're scrunching it and not a lot of moisture is falling out of your hair, then just know that the hair is trying to hold on to any moisture that it can, and it's really dehydrated. So I recommend air drying for a few months, trying to keep the moisture in as much as possible. So obviously at home, it's not going to take you guys this long, but feel free to have your kids watch this tutorial with you and then do it with you. Make hair a fun experience rather than an hour long of arguing like I remember doing with my mom. Times have changed, and you don't need to work that hard as long as you have the right tools. So here's the next important step. Use only a microfiber towel, a hot tip, cotton t-shirt works just fine. And when you're scrunching, you want it all the way up into the roots. Don't be afraid to remove your product. devacurl doesn't work like that. devacurl uses the water to create the styling and the curls. That way you don't have to, as long as you have the right products working with you. I recommend to have them turn their head to the left and the right. Just kind of helps to unglue it from the scalp and makes towel blotting a lot easier. See how she's able to get into the crown area now? It just makes it easier. It's more ergonomic for your hands and your neck as well. And of course, adults, if you are having your kids wear curly hair and you have curls, tisk tisk tisk, it is time to put down the flat iron and embrace your curls, so that way your daughter knows that she has great hair. Once they're towel dried, throw them on back, and they are all done. So this is after air drying. You can see that the curls are much more fluent. So if you found this to be a helpful tutorial, or you guys have any more questions, just drop a comment below in the blog and I'll be sure to get back to you. Thanks everyone.